get into Tom Brady's comments on the NFL. Can we play this clip? And I want to see what the guys have to say about this.
I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not? Why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I think I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way, and every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to a defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to.
Here's the way I feel about it. I feel like, number one, as a defensive guy, I appreciate Tom Brady.
I thought you would.
Tom Brady, it's like he played in two different eras, right? He played in it's like NBA players that played in the 90s and like the early 2000s. Like, it's a totally different game. Like, back when Tom Brady was first playing, you could hit people, like legitimately, including the quarterback. But toward the end of Tom Brady's career, nobody got more, you accidentally touched the quarterback penalties than Tom Brady. Don't get me started on the Tuck rule, but that's a story for another day. But Tom Brady was untouchable. I almost feel like Tom Brady started the trend of protecting the quarterback at all costs, like more than just about anybody. So I feel like it's a little bit hypocritical, but I do appreciate him saying that. And listen, I do think the rules, there is too much red tape in the NFL. They're talking about getting rid of the hip drop tackle. You can't hit anybody anymore. How do you tackle anybody anymore? How do you play DB anymore? Like, you can't touch a receiver. I can't put my hands on a receiver after 5 yards down the field. You know how much of an advantage that is? Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I get it. They want the offense to score points because points equal ticket sales. People want to watch offense. They don't want to go watch Iowa play Nebraska this weekend. They want to go watch Texas and Texas Tech go up and down, score, and all this craziness. But at some point, you're watering down the game. It is so hard, and the harder it is to play defense, the harder it is to coach it. Like, how do I coach you now? You have to be perfect in a game that is going at 1,000 miles per hour, and physical decisions get made in milliseconds, split seconds. So I get what Tom Brady is saying, but Tom Brady was also part of the wave that, the don't touch me wave at quarterback. How many times did Tom Brady get whispered at and turn around and look at the ref and say something, and here comes the flag? And then it just started to go all the way across the NFL. It went from quarterbacks, now it's defenses. The hit on Josh Dobbs the other day. Kareem Jackson, I think, is a dirty player. I think Kareem's a dirty player. I've watched him do this multiple times. That hit on Josh Dobbs was not a dirty hit.
It was
at all. It's a joke.
What do y'all thought? You think Derwin James is a dirty player?
I think Kareem's a little bit dirtier than Derwin. I think Derwin knows what he's doing.
Derwin James, it seems like he won't like change the way he plays based off the rules that are now, right? Like he continues to allow himself to be penalized over and over again, even though I've never seen like a specific hit where I'm like, okay, this guy's trying to like injure another player.
Well, like when I saw Kareem Jackson hit Logan Thomas from the Commanders in the end zone, it was almost like the Boston College guy the other night. Like, you watch that target.
Oh, that was...
Yeah. You're like, that. You can't do that.
That was a plant for a teach tape.
Yeah, I've watched Kareem Jackson do that multiple times. I feel like most of the time Derwin James stuff isn't exactly launching in the air. He's launching down at people, which I think is different. But Tom Brady makes a great point. Ed Reed couldn't play it. They throw him out every game.
Well, all those guys would be dirty players now. Yeah. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis,
Sean Taylor,
they all be considered dirty players. I mean, that's what, I think there's a line that you can find between player safety and still having the violence of football. Right, it's getting to the point where it's becoming a 7-on-7. That's what it's becoming. I mean, you can't where can you hit a guy realistically if you're a defender? And people don't realize how fast this stuff is happening. Yeah. I know the camera can slow it down for you, but buddy, this is bang, bang, boom, boom. You have to adjust on a point millisecond of hitting somebody. It's changing fundamentals of how you tackle, and that gets what? That gets people hurt. Football, people want to watch football for touchdowns and people getting hit.
Yes.
That's why it's a gladiator sport, all right? You sign up for football because you like that stuff. I signed up for football because I liked hitting people. I had to get that out of me from a day-to-day basis or I would freak out. These are grown men who get paid millions of dollars, and they're complaining. All right, the quarterback's a little bit different. I think you can protect him a little bit more just because the angles he gets hit, and most of the time you don't see it coming. But other than that, if you play receiver, if you play safety, it should be full on go. You cross the middle, you pay a price, right? That's football. That's how it's supposed to be.
One of the most interesting parts about this when this broke was I was thinking Tom Brady just retired. Like, this isn't Terry Bradshaw talking about today's game. Like, you're still in the conversation to get calls whenever a quarterback gets injured. But because he played so long, you said it best. Like, he played in multiple eras of football. And I was watching that because someone posted right under this the most vicious hits Tom Brady ever took. And a lot of them are from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
that sideline
absolutely demolished, like time and time again. So if there's anybody I trust to like see the trajectory of the NFL or to spot any flaws, it's this guy, even though, of course, on the field, he's trying to benefit from a personal foul.
Oh, without a doubt. I don't blame him for doing that.
But also, it's worth noting, like, the players are the ones making these changes happen. Like, the NFLPA, like, if you want to practice less and you want to have, fewer padded practices and not hit so much, like, it's not so much even coming down from the league as players don't want to hit that much anymore.
Yeah. It's
like
just,
it's
the truth. It was an interesting take. I mean, I think he brings up some really...
I was surprised he said it, to be honest.
was too. Speaking about in-depth, we know you guys watch the games. We know you guys love to tailgate. We know you guys love to party while the game's going on. And a little bit of drinking happens, all right? There's some cold sodas that are consumed. You got Monday Night Football. You got Thursday night NFL games. They can go late. We know about this weekend. Going to be staying up watching games. Got a great slate on Friday. And when you're having some beer with the boys, it can lead to some not-so-fun mornings. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hell, they named a famous comedy after it, the H word. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying. So when you have to get up to work for the next day or you got to go do something the next day, you want to feel better, quicker. That's where ZBiotics comes in to play. It's a pre-alcohol probiotic. That means you drink this before you go out and drink that. And if you do that, you will feel way, way better. Trust me, I promise you this works. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists, all right, who I trust. Just remember to drink it before you drink alcohol, and obviously drink responsibly. We know that. Get a good night's sleep, and you will feel your best the next day. It is an unbelievable product. David, you used it. Blaine, you used it.
I have several times.
If you're somebody that goes out, you're in college, you don't want to, or you're getting up there in age, and let's say it hurts a little bit more than it used to, ZBiotics is the perfect place. That's exactly right. ZBiotics.com/booster. That's ZBiotics.com/booster, BOOSTER, to get 15% off your first order with code BOOSTER at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, which you won't be, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. That's ZBiotics.com/booster. Use the code BOOSTER at checkout for 15% off. Everybody on YouTube, appreciate you guys stopping by. Do us a favor if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button on any videos, and turn that notification bell on so you know when we drop content.